Hey guys, Jacob here at ePoolSupply. Today we are going to be installing a Pentair 520 pool filter. This video is also going to work for the 320, 420, 520 because they all have the same basis on how to plumb it. So, but today we got a nice 520. Thank you to Pentair for hooking us up with one of these to show you guys how to install it. Stay tuned, and we're going to cut this old Hayward filter out and put this in. Come back. Alright guys, and we're back. So I have got a Hayward DE60 here. So it's an LD filter. So the customer's complaining that there's DE just kind of blowing back in the pool all the time. So what it is, there's grids inside of here that coat with DE powder. This is the best quality filter you can get on the market is a DE filter, but it's kind of a maintenance nightmare. So we always recommend Pentair's cartridge filters. It's got a lot more surface area, better flow, better everything. Everyone wants better flow nowadays because of the variable speed pump technology. So it actually reduce the strain on the pump and actually be more efficient. So this guy, she's old. It's a guy, she, whatever. It's old, so it's ready to replace. So first things first, go to your breaker, put it in service mode, kill the breakers. You don't want this thing turning on in the middle of it because that would suck and get you very, very wet. Step number 2, open up the air relief valve. We want to allow air back into the system. Little trick, that's all this thing is meant for, is to let air back in the system. A lot of people think that you just open this every time you want to turn the pump on. It's not how that works. So as that happens, I'm going to undo these. Oh, no, I'm not. Cool. Oh, who put these on here? Okay, cool. Step number 3, I guess. I'm going to cut the old plumbing out. So I'm going to cut the old backwash valve out because the new cartridge filters don't need a backwash valve. Ever. If you put a backwash valve on a cartridge filter, you're going to blow up the cartridges on the inside. So I'm going to cut out the old plumbing. All right. Yep. This thing's brutal. I'm just gonna yeet it. It's my new favorite word. It's like the valve is part of the filter forever, so let's go ahead and throw some plumbing away. The system's depressurizing. We gotta let all the water run out, so it isn't about 1,000 pounds when you go to lift this thing. So let's just let it run. Little side note today, it's Greg's birthday. So make sure you comment on this video, say happy birthday, Greg. Might throw you guys some free swag if you say happy birthday, Greg. September 24th, 1987. Okay. Let's get this filter out of here. So I'm going to put this one off to the side. Give me a little dragging room. Nope. Kyle, can you help me? Why not? I'm just going to go back to 1, 2, 3. That's great. All right, cool. So, thanks, Kyle. So we got a nice clean slab ready for us to put a brand new filter on. So filters are pretty easy to install. There's no like programming. You just kind of plumb it in, turn it on, have a great day. So what we're gonna do now is, as you can see, I covered my pump already. I don't like getting glue and primer all over everything, or paint especially, so I kind of like to cover this stuff that's pretty. I really don't like to make a mess. So what I'm gonna do now is place a new filter in the spot. New filters are relatively light because there's no water inside of them, but I always recommend getting a little help. So, new filter's in its spot. So now what I want to tell you is how to plumb this thing in. So, on the filter, it literally says inlet and outlet. The top one's going to be your inlet. That means water in from the pump. So inlet goes to the pump, outlet goes to the rest of the manifold. So all I'm literally going to do is this bottom pipe is going to go straight over here because that goes back to the pool manifold. and this top pipe is gonna go to the pump. I personally am a big fan of doing your outlet first because it's usually a tighter spot to work with, and then the inlet last because you have ups, downs, over, bends, so you can kind of bend some pipe. So let's get started. Hey Kyle, can you please pass me a piece of pipe? Behind you? Maybe? Thank you, Kyle. You're welcome. Alrighty. So, a little bigger than my foot. Just gonna rough it with this pipe thing. Got some nice pipe cutters here. So what I want to do is going in here is about 1.5 inches, and pretty much a good measurement is to where the outside of this coupling is right here, or the union. That's where my pipe's gonna go, and it's gonna stop right here where it touches the pipe. So I can get my measurement by going like this, putting it up against there, grabbing the bottom of the pipe where it meets the other pipe, and that's gonna be where I'm cutting. Rusty. All right, so gluing new pipe in. I'm a big fan of using Weldon 746 heavy. It literally says pool heavy on it. This stuff's bulletproof, man. Like, you can make bad cuts if you want to over time. I know there's been a couple of the pipe police on a couple of my videos, but if you use pool heavy, you'll be fine. Those don't fit. Cool. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna glue it onto my filter first. Again, I'm gonna put a rag down on the slab because I don't want to spill any glue on the slab, because once you do that, it'll stain. So I use clear primer, the pool primer, P68 primer. I like clear just because the purple stuff makes a big mess. You don't really need to use the purple. It's not like it's underground plumbing or anything, just to show the inspectors that you prime the pipes. Just make sure you prime it. Prime both ends. You want to do the pipe and the fitting. So get a nice slather on there. So with pipe, especially when it's in colder environments, so it's kind of cooling down here in Arizona. I mean, it's only like 90 today. Pipe will actually bounce out if it's in a colder environment. When it's hot, it sets real quick with this glue, but colder environments, it'll bounce out. So just make sure you eyeball it, just watch it for a little bit or press in for like 10 seconds and then it'll stick. So grab another rag, clean off my glue. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line the pipe up with this other pipe. Make sure it's straight. Pretty good. So I'm gonna do now, take my pipe cutters. So again, you want a perfect joint. So the bottom of this pipe meets this pipe down here. That's where I wanna make my cut. So we come in here. That worked out well. Gotta love old plumbing. So that works. So perfect. Now I'm just gonna 90 it in. So put this off to the side. That's the good thing about doing one side first is that it actually is movable. Makes it easier on you guys. So I'm gonna do first. Always prime your stuff. I like to try to get most of the paint off, but some of this paint is pretty dang stubborn. So again, you can prime it and then rag it. Try to get some of this stuff off and then prime it again. So now, glue it. Glue the entire 90. Both sides of the 90, both sides of the pipe, because we're gonna do this all at once. I'm gonna glue it on the filter first, because what I wanna do is bring it back over, lift it up, and then set it on that pipe. Now, nice tight glue joint. Cool. Outlet's plumbed on. That's the easy part. Now, the inlet. Clear up the pipe shavings. All right, so this little piece that I got earlier is gonna work out perfectly that I cut off here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna glue in a little piece to here because my goal here is to come out, up, and over. So let's go ahead and glue that first piece on. Grab another rag, go over this. Again, primer. Glue. Push it all the way in. Make sure it doesn't bounce off like I was talking about earlier. Wipe the glue off. Sweet. All right. So now, cool. Let's cut off about another foot of pipe, and I'm going to show you a little trick on how to plumb this part. So what I'm going to need now is a 90 and a piece of pipe. I'm going to glue these two together first. So what I'm going to do, primer, primer, primer. Glue one side only on each. Stick it in. Make sure it doesn't bounce. Golden. So now I want to primer this. Primer. Cleans your surface so that way the glue has a good surface to bite onto at all times. You don't want any leaks, especially when you did all this work. You don't want a little pinhole leak that goes through all this. So a good way to do this too to prevent leaks is put on the fitting sideways when you do something like this. And then turn it, and that actually smears the glue on the inside so it's all up, down, and around. So this one's gonna be a little bit of eyeball, and kind of make it go straight up and down, about as straight as possible. So perfect. Now, you have two ways to do this next part. You can take a tape measure from the inside of this pipe to the inside of this pipe, or just take the pipe that you have readily available. And again, figure out on the pipe where to cut. You see? Perfect. So now, just like kind of what I did here, I'm gonna have it go from here to here, and this is even the last joint. You always want a 90 to be your last joint when plumbing, and I'll show you why. Ultimately what it is things bend, you have unions that actually slip things over, so that way you're not forcing a coupling on or something weird. Yeah, this paint's pretty strong, so. Cool. That's good enough. It'll hold. So I'm going to paint 190 onto this piece of pipe. And now I'm going to paint this onto that pipe, bend it, make it go straight at this pipe. So again, I'm going to put it on a little sideways, stretch back over, line it up perfect. Let's take a rag, clean off my mess. Perfect. And I'm lined up. So now again, so when two pipes are meeting each other at the bottom of it right here, so that we have a nice gap for that 90 to fit on. Sweet, sweet. All right. Prime the 90, prime both sides of the pipe. Some rags back into place. Just got glue in my brand new shoes. My wife's gonna kill me. So again, make sure all the pipe's coated around it. So remember, this doesn't look like it fits, but pipe's bend. Pull it up a little bit, put it on, squeeze. We're good. This filter is officially plumbed in. Not too bad. Pretty easy. So the science here comes out of the filter, or out of pump, into the filter, goes in the filter, fills up with water, goes through the cartridges, and then back out to the rest of the system. So we have nice clean water going to the rest of the pool. Pretty sweet. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna paint everything, make it look all pretty. So we're actually gonna cut away, move the cameras back, because paint's gonna go everywhere, and I don't wanna get paint all over my camera. So we'll show you a far away picture of that. All right, guys, so today we are done. So I sprayed everything down. As you saw, I covered it all the equipment up to make it look kind of nice so you don't get paint all over the pool pump lids. Other than that, the paint does help protect it from UV. The color that we use to make it match what Pentair has is almond. Rust-Oleum has it. There's a bunch of brands out there that has different almond colors. So it's an almond color spray paint is what you want to use. Cleaning this filter out, we're going to have a video on how to clean this filter, but there's a band clamp here. You take the whole thing off every 6 months, clean it all out. This filter's pretty awesome, you guys. But we'll keep you posted on another video on how to clean out your cartridge filters. On this gauge here, there's a start and a clean. My personal experience, it literally means nothing because it's adjustable, but if you get to the clean mark, so when we turn this thing on the first time, we'll set the start. And I'll show you a picture here of what it looks like and maybe a little video on how to adjust this, and we'll just do a quick little whatever. So we'll just put it right now. So when it's on start, you're good. If it gets that clean mark, I mean, that usually means that this filter is really dirty, because I've only seen cartridge filters maybe go up a couple pounds in pressure when they are dirty. If you keep that 6 months, 3 to 6 months timeline in the back of your head to clean this thing out, keep it like that. That's what I would do. For all you back Easters that close down your pools and everything, just clean it at the end of your season and you'll be good to go for the next season. So today we installed Pentair's 520 cartridge filter. Also, this video does work for 420s and 320s. It's the exact same base on all of the filters, the cartridges, and the tops of the different sizes. So all of them plumb in the same. So yeah, we're gonna start this thing up. I'm Jacob with ePoolSupply. Thanks for watching today.